In this first demonstration, we will be demonstrating how to perform a manual muscle test for wrist flexion in a gravity eliminated position. The client should be seated with the palm in neutral on a supported surface such as a table, and the assistant should be on the side of the extremity that is being tested. The stabilizing hand should be on the radial side of the forearm, while the working hand should be holding onto the metacarpals. The stabilizing hand should be palpating the muscle belly, and the assistant should inform the patient to go into a passive range of motion of their wrist. So now you want to put your wrist in flexion, so flex your wrist. Good, and relax. Because our client was able to move through a full active range of motion through wrist flexion, they will score a grade 2 for the gravity eliminated manual muscle test. Next, I will be demonstrating wrist extension in a gravity eliminated position for the manual muscle test. So just as in the previous demonstration, the palm will be in neutral on a stable surface. The client should still be seated, and the assistant should be on the side of the extremity that is being tested. The stabilizing hand will remain on the radial side of the forearm, and the working hand will remain on the metacarpals. And next you will have the client go into a passive range of motion into wrist extension. So now extend your wrist back, so bring your palm up and back. Okay, good. So because the client demonstrated an active range of motion, the client would get a grade of 2 for the manual muscle test in gravity eliminated position for the wrist extension. In this demonstration, we will be performing a manual muscle test in a gravity resisted position for knee extension. So the client position will be seated on the edge of a table and making sure that the feet are hanging off of the edge. And the assistant position should be on the side of the extremity that is being tested. And the working hand or the stabilizing hand will be on top of the thigh of the client, and the working hand will be just above the ankle joint, and the stabilizing hand will be ensuring that the knee doesn't walk into extension. Next, the client should apply manual resistance against the contracting muscles by bringing the client's knee into flexion. So you want to straighten your leg. Okay. And then I'm going to push for 3 holds, but let's unlock your knee. And then push against my resistance for hold, 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 and relax. Okay. So this client demonstrates a grade 5 test result because they were able to push against maximum force. In our last demonstration, I will be performing a manual muscle test in a gravity resisted position for knee flexion. So for the client's position, you want them to be supinated on a supported surface such as a table, and you want their knees to be in a neutral rotation, and the assistant should be on the side that is being tested. So the stabilizing hand will be palpating the hamstrings, and the working hand should be adding resistance just above the ankle joint over here. Next, the assistant will bring the client into a passive range of motion for knee flexion. Okay, so I'm going to just flex your knee. Okay, then relax. And then don't let me move you. In 3, 2, 1, hold, 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 and relax. Okay. The client attained a grade 5 test because they were able to hold against a maximum resistance.